What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, not a happy Barry, because let's be honest, the download that you had today was a patch from the TapTap servers that we have previously talked about. They did delay this feature, however, it seems like nothing has really changed, and I'm going to go into it and talk about why you guys should stay a million miles away from the soul purification or perfection, whatever they call it. It is soul useless for 99.999% of players. Let's get into it. So you might not have noticed at first glance what actually did change, but if you do come up to the Soul Temple, a lot of it's new to take a look at this. There's of course, still the quest systems. There's still all these normal buttons that you're used to seeing. Nothing really different. They're a little more optimized, things like that. But if you come to the Soul Perfection tab, this is the new feature. And again, this is just going to be informational for the average player. Do not do this. Don't try to do this. It is not worth it, and I'm going to go over exactly why. So let's just take, for example, one of our already strong heroes. Well, we can feed materials, aka B- and higher heroes, to improve the stats. However, the stat improvement you get is very, very little, and it does take a lot of tries to get up to the next tier. So among that, you'll see that different types of awakened tiers that you're going to feed off in these slots down here give a certain number of points. Mainly, you're just worried about the basic merge. Trust me. It is rough because, as you guys can see here, there's certain progress points you need to get the next upgrade, and it's different for every single hero depending on the quality of the hero. Overall, if you already have an A tier or higher hero, you're just not going to want to do this. Maybe if you're already very close to like the next tier up, it might be worth it. But in all honesty, the investment you're going to have to make to get this progress is not worth it. You'd be better off selling this copy, running over to the auction house and being like, all right, let's take a look. What are, let's see, are there any higher tier Lord of Fear Aspens on the auction house? If there aren't, well, then maybe you can consider it. If there are, then you're much better off actually purchasing them. Man, surprisingly enough, though, there is a severe lack of copies right now. That was, oh my god, it kind of took me back. That's a very high price for this hero. Now, maybe people are buying a lot of A tiers up, like the Megalodons, to super perfect their heroes. But our hope was that for the average player, let's just see, do we have a B plus here somewhere? We should, right? There we go. We got like a B plus Vesa. Ultimately, what people would want to do is take this B plus and turn it into an A minus. That way they can get Giant Killer, they can get Defier, they can get all those amazing stats. However, that is not something you need to do, because not only do you need to invest a ton of B minus and higher heroes, B typically being the most cost effective for points, because essentially, here's what you need to think. If you are going to do this, a B minus needs to cost a third of the price or less to be worthwhile. If it's like, just say these are 500 piece and this is 1500, just for an example. Yeah, or I think it's more like if this is like 200 piece, but this is 500, this is the better option, of course, to purchase. And then the same thing here, it's a little more than double. If these guys here are like 500 and these are 1500, then obviously Bs are the best. From the past, what I've seen, Bs are the best to purchase if you are going to go for this. However, the hope that everybody could take their B plus heroes and turn them to A minus is bad, because not only do you need this here, but then to turn it into a Giant Killer copy, which, I don't know if I can actually show that off. If I could, that would make for a really good video. But we need to get way up here in stats. I wonder if any of our heroes here are even close, because if it is, I might bite the bullet and actually show it to you here. Oh man, remember the old days when those were actually the icons? I just realized they never changed it. Do we have any really good B plus heroes? What is yours? No, that's really not good at all. Yeah, I don't think we really have any super amazing B plus heroes. I think literally the best one we have is that Vesa, right? Where did the Vesa go? all over. Oh, that's why she doesn't even have any imprints. We could try to do this, however, that is going to be very costly because to get 310 points, that's essentially like saying we have to fodder off 11 to 12 B tier heroes. Those are very expensive. Those are still, like, if I remember correctly, they're in the ballpark of what? B tier heroes. Like, you can bid on them, sure, but if you're just looking for like buyout price on them, they're like 400 to 500 a piece. That means you're going to be spending 4,000 to 5,000 Starry Gems just to upgrade her, to then have to go even further. And if you remember when we talked about this on the Tap series, when you even do get that hero up to B+, once you do, you need to feed off like 5 B heroes, 5 B+ heroes, and 5 A- heroes. And when you just accumulate all that cost, like we can even just look at what the cheapest A- heroes are. They're like 7,000 a pop here, 9,000. Like you can see here, they get pricey. They definitely get pricey. And these are just for A- heroes. Like, of course, garbage ones like, you know, Carrie, Rogan, they're cheap because they're just like 1,000 over or 1,000 under the retirement cost. You can retire an A-, I believe, for like 8,000 contract Starry Gems, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, I believe that's what it is, right? Yeah, 8,000. In the current system, that would mean even if at like 7,000 was a budget, if you were to take this hero here and have to upgrade it, that's like what, 35,000 just to get it up to A tier, unless it is like the super rare, like maybe an Aspen or something. Like, but even then, like, just wait for an A- Aspen to pop up and you can buy it for cheaper. Again, this system for the average player, completely useless. Please, please, please don't waste all these heroes and chuck them in here. It's just please don't do it. It is not going to be worthwhile. Don't do it. The only time I could see this happening is, you know, you get these accounts where like, actually, we don't even have like an A+, do we? No, we're like far away from an A+. To get an A+, or yeah, I mean, we'd have to go to A+ first, which means the ranges are 7,200, and you can see how far away we are on a lot of these stats here to get those up. Like the only chance I can see is if you have an A+ and you want to take it to an S tier, and there are no S tiers on the auction house, and it would be very expensive to buy an S tier. Then maybe it'd be WOB, because then you get that fourth, I guess you'll say the fourth roll on the copy, and then maybe it's worthwhile. But again, I feel like this system is literally for people who have SS or SSS heroes and they want to perfect that copy and make it 100% stats across the board. They want to see 999 or 9900, 9900, and 99 speed, and that's what they want to see. But for the average player, this is straight up dookie pooks. Pookie dukes, I can't remember the term. It's horrible. Don't do it. Stay away from it. Please don't do it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll see you guys next time. Just don't do it.